Check. I can see our speakers are coming in. This is just a sound check. This is just a drill. I remembered a hairbrush today. Are we ready to roll? Doug, you'll tell us when. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us again. We're here at the Emergency Operations Center, the City of Calgary's update from the Calgary Emergency Management Agency on the 16th Avenue pipeline update. Today, you'll be hearing from Calgary Emergency Management Agency Chief Sue Henry, City of Calgary Mayor Jody Gondek, City of Calgary Capital Priorities and Investments Director Francois Bouchart, and we have City of Calgary Natural Environment and Adaptation Manager Nicole Newton. We'll hear their updates, we'll take your media questions, and with that, I'll hand it over to Mayor Gondek. Thank you.
Thank you. Oki Ambawastich Dadanastada Tanse, and good afternoon, everybody. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there who's celebrating, and in particular to the dads who are working on these repairs. We apologize that you have to be away from your families, and we greatly appreciate the work that you're doing. So happy Father's Day to everyone. We have 3 significant updates for today. Firstly, the robotic review that was done on the remaining 300 meters of the feeder main that is exposed right now indicates that there are no further breaches. So we are in good shape. We will be addressing those 5 hotspots as we indicated on Friday. Second bit of good news is that we are partially reopening 16th Avenue at 11 p.m. and calgary.ca will be updated with the maps that you're going to want to look at. Thirdly, heavy equipment is arriving tomorrow to address those 5 hotspots. To let you know that the main break that occurred has been fully repaired, and we are now focused on knocking off the other 5. And again, the work on those will happen at the same time. To give you an idea of what's been happening behind the scenes, we have now engaged with 6 private sector partners to do various things on this job. Those are Standard General, Voker Steven, Whistle, LBCO, Associated Engineering, and Pure Technologies. Very big thank you to these organizations that are doing important work for us. We also convened 2 roundtables over the weekend with some other sectors to talk about their ideas and how they might work in this situation. We've got 2 more of those planned over the next couple of days. We'll be talking to experts in heavy construction as well as technology. There are professionals from the oil and gas sector who sat down with our engineers and hydrologists, again, to exchange ideas on what they've experienced in the projects that they've worked on and how we might be able to leverage some of that information and experience on the situation that we have before us. So this really has been an all hands on deck approach. And I want to thank the number of people who put up their hands and said, we'd really like to come and talk with you about where we could be helpful. And I just want to be clear with everyone on the 3 stages that we need to undertake on this repair work. Firstly, we need to keep water flowing to your homes right now, and that means taking care of the Glenmore facility, including having any contingencies in place. Secondly, we need to get the repairs done as quickly and safely as we possibly can on that stretch along 16th Avenue. And right now, we've got 1 out of the 6 fixes done. There's 5 more that we need to address, and that work starts tomorrow. To get that done is critical because then we can turn on the tap at the Bears Paw treatment facility again. So that's second. The third thing that we will need to do is a fulsome review of this whole feeder main, as well as a full incident review with full transparency to the public. With that, I am going to turn things over to Calgary Emergency Management Agency's Chief Sue Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon. I'd like to start by acknowledging that this is Father's Day and that we've had a number of dads on our crews and currently downstairs at the Emergency Operations Center and other locations across the city, working at all hours trying to get you back into service. Thank you to them and all of our city crews, including firefighters, bylaw officers, roads operators, and transit operations currently on shift, now spending time away from their families to serve our citizens. First, I'm very happy to see that we've hit a record low in our water use on Saturday. Thank you, Calgarians, for stepping up again to give us amazing reduction in water use. Your thoughtful actions towards water use can make a big difference. We will need to keep these efforts up for longer as we anticipate the current water restrictions will remain in effect for 3 to 5 weeks longer. Let's embrace the community spirit to get through this. Keep sharing the creative ideas and solutions for reducing and reusing water to stay inspired and committed to supporting these initiatives together. I've seen your photos of the innovative containers that you're using to collect rainwater, and my team has shared many of the ways you are saving every precious drop. If everyone contributes, 1 million small reductions can make a significant impact to help us get through this faster. Throughout all of this, our Emergency Operations Center remains open with a state of local emergency in place and the municipal emergency plan activated in effect to help coordinate and prioritize the response as we work with crews, contractors, and partners to get this massive repair done and water service restored for you. Yesterday was Neighbor Day, and I want to share a message of love from some neighbors far away. Along with parts from cities across North America, the City of San Diego was able to send us a length of pipe we need to make these critical repairs. And with that, they sent a message of hope. Thank you to the County of San Diego. We're grateful you are in this fight with us, and your message of support has uplifted a lot of people here in Calgary. This is an amazing example of the kind of caring we're seeing in Calgary and so many places, so thank you. A quick update on the numbers we're seeing from bylaw and 311. To date, we've received 6,214 calls related to the water feeder main break, with 1,895 related to water misuse. The majority of these have been resolved, with 54 remaining cases that our officers are working on today. We've now issued 537 written warnings and have addressed 638 concerns through education. For the fire ban, we have received a total of 334 calls, with 18 cases remaining open. On 311 calls, we currently have no wait times as of this morning, and we encourage Calgarians to continue to use the 311 app or calgary.ca to make your service requests. On the bottom of the app, there's a banner that you are able to tap to submit an online request. In order to help you prep for tomorrow morning's commute, there are some changes to be aware of. As we move through our repair work, unfortunately, our road situation may get a bit worse before it gets better. As the mayor mentioned, the eastbound lanes of 16th Avenue Northwest, where the initial break happened, will reopen later today to allow a two-way traffic setup of 1 lane in each direction, while repairs continue on the westbound 2 lanes. This will allow eastbound traffic to flow. However, at nearly the same time, in order for us to get started on the repairs further up the line, we will be closing a section of 16th Avenue from 46th Street Northwest to 45th Street Northwest, as well as a second section from 43rd Street Northwest to Bowness Road, which will impact traffic. 16th Avenue will be closed in both directions, and the closures are expected to be in place while we are completing these critical repairs. Please go to calgary.ca for the most current information. We know this will add traffic congestion, and you need to expect delays if you are moving through this area. However, these closures are a positive step and the right direction towards restoring the water service. We are moving quickly. We know the urgency you feel to get back to normal as quickly as possible, and I can assure you that our teams feel that too. We're making all the efforts to bring you back to normal service as quickly and as safely as we can. I also want to thank you for the messages of support. I will be taking a few days off, so you will hear from Deputy Chief Kobe Dewar for the next few days. And thank you for all that you are doing to keep the water use down. Keep doing what you're doing, and we can get through this together. I will now pass to Director Francois Bouchart.
Good afternoon. As you've heard already, I can now confirm that we've concluded the inspection on the remaining 300 meters of pipe and the preliminary results indicate no new hotspots have been identified. We are developing an inspection plan for the rest of the feeder main, and I will share more information as that evolves. In terms of the original break, the work continues to repair that break and significant progress has been made. Yesterday's, our crew finished protecting the new segment of pipe from corrosion, and the final inspection of the pipe was completed. Today, crews have removed water from the site due to yesterday's rain, and we're now backfilling the site and moving equipment out of the area. This is a major milestone in our response to this drastic break, but the work and continuous collaboration is not yet done. As announced on Friday, further investigation of the critical water feeder main break identified 5 additional hotspots that needed to be addressed to repair this important piece of infrastructure. We've reached out to municipalities and water utilities across North America to secure the parts and pipes needed for these additional repairs. Fortunately, we've been able to secure the parts we need, and those are on the way now. As Chief Henry shared with you, 2 of the pipe segments are on their way from our neighbors in the south. And I personally want to thank San Diego County Water Authority for helping us out. Repairing the damaged sections remains our top priority. Initial inspections and site prep work are already underway, and construction on those hotspots will start tomorrow, June the 17th. And I want to reiterate that we will be doing those repairs concurrently. If you are in the area today, you may receive a visit from our teams who are sharing updated information on construction that will mobilize very quickly. Construction details are evolving, and we're updating community associations, business improvement areas, local businesses, and residents as information becomes available. Our consultants, contractors, and crews remain hard at work to support the repairs being undertaken. The area may notice increased construction activities during the development of our staging areas, the presence of heavy equipment and construction vehicles, and the finalization and the establishment of new detours as identified by Chief Henry. Crews will be working 24 hours a day and will attempt to mitigate noise throughout the night. We are actively looking at ways to speed up the work while focusing on health, safety, and the quality of work. As a reminder, Calgarians, we are working around the clock to finish this work and restore normal water operation. Our estimates shared on Friday, June the 14th, still hold at 3 to 5 weeks to complete the additional repairs. We are actively looking at ways to speed up work while focusing again on health, safety, and quality of work. I want to thank you and our partners near and far for your continuous support as we navigate the water restrictions together. I will now hand over to Nicole Newton.
Good afternoon, Calgary. I know that over the last week, we've been calling upon all Calgarians to make changes to how they use their water. You have already done a great job in taking these steps and cutting back. Your efforts are making a difference, but we must use less water. As you heard on Friday, we now have a clearer understanding of the feeder mains conditions and the estimated repair timelines of 3 to 5 weeks. Until the feeder main is fully operational, we need to use 25% less water every day. Our collective efforts do and will add up. On Saturday, our water use hit a required 25% reduction. However, earlier in this week, we experienced concerning trends. We are in a state of local emergency, and it's critical to continue to hit our water target. If we regularly exceed this target by 25%, or this target of 25%, we will run out of water. And this means when you turn on your tap, no water will come out. We all must make every drop count. We need all Calgarians at home and at work to step up their conservation efforts and to keep it up every single day to help ensure we have the water we all need. And I am confident we can all come together as a community. All Calgarians need to build upon the actions that many of you are already taking to tackle the biggest water users in your home and to do just a little bit extra. Here's how. Whether it's a front load or a top load washing machine, they are one of the biggest users of water inside your home. In addition to running full loads of laundry, reduce the number of loads you do each week. Trim back to 1 to 2 loads by sorting your laundry and only washing what is absolutely essential. Toilets are next. Even if you have a low flush toilet, as many of you do, you can skip a flush. Adopt an if it's yellow, it's mellow, and if it's brown, flush it down routine. Skip a minimum of 2 flushes per day. Every time you skip a flush, you can save 6 liters. By adopting this routine, collectively as a city of 1.4 million people, we could save 3 Olympic swimming-sized pools, or approximately 450,000 of these 5-gallon jugs. Turn off your water softener. This can save approximately 200 liters every time it cycles. That's roughly 10 of the blue 5-gallon water jugs. Thank you for sticking to your showers instead of baths, reducing the number of minutes you're in the shower to 3 minutes or less. Shortening a shower from 5 minutes to 3 minutes can save 20 liters of water, equivalent to approximately 1 blue gallon jug every day. Collectively, that's 1.4 million jugs. We can increase the savings by reducing the number of showers we take every week. You're already waiting to run the dishwasher until you have a full load and keep it up. Now, try to stretch out how often you run the dishwasher, even just by 1 day. Consider low prep meals, reusing cups throughout the day, and even using compostable dishes over the next few weeks. Many of you are already turning off your taps while you brush your teeth or shave. When you wash your hands or face, you can also help turn off the tap when you lather up. Try using a wash basin to collect this water throughout the day and use it to flush your toilet at the end of the day. Have you checked your taps for leaks yet? Now is the time. A small stream of water from a faucet can waste over 15,000 liters per month. That's 2,000 blue jugs. Turn off the valves of unused sinks or toilets as a precautionary measure. All of these actions, while they may seem small, collectively do add up. Businesses also play a critical role in helping reduce our water demand, making up 32% of Calgary's water consumption. We've heard across the city of many actions that businesses have taken to reduce their water use, from cutting back on their operations and making small changes in how they run their business to use less water. Many of our largest industrial water customers are already reporting a 25 to 30% reduction. During this time, all businesses need to make every drop count and use less water. The time to take action is now, and we're offering guidance on how businesses can do more. As we approach the warmer days across our city buildings, we're making changes to how we cool our buildings, and we're asking businesses to do the same. If your business uses a water cooling system to run the air conditioner in your building, adjust the temperature 1 or 2 degrees warmer to help use less water. Where you can, use fans or open windows. For our restaurant and hospitality and service industries, look where you use water that is essential or non-essential in your operations, and consider if you can do things differently to use less water. For example, at restaurants, you encourage your customers to request for a glass of water rather than automatically providing a jug or filling their glasses at the table. Be upfront with your customers and guests about how you are doing your part to conserve water during this time and how they can support you in your efforts. At hotels, talk to your guests during their check-in or display information in rooms and how they can reduce water during their stay by reusing towels, taking shorter showers, or turning off the taps when not in use. And for everyone, let's spread the word. Talk to your employees about what you're doing to save water. Remind your friends and your family, and spread the word on social media. Let's get talking about the importance of making every drop count. We must use less water. Please visit calgary.ca for more water-saving tips. And we need all Calgarians at home and at work to step up your conservation efforts to help keep us on track to meet the 25% reduction target. Together, we can make every drop count. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to build on what Nicole was saying, I know that many of you have asked whether businesses using less water could be the best solution. And I can tell you this, if you imagine that you have 3 glasses full of water and you drink down one of them, that's the consumption from the business sector. The other 2 glasses that you have, that's what we're using in our homes. So it's still really important for all of us as individuals in Calgary, in Strathmore, Chestermere, Airdrie, and Tsuut'ina Nation to do our part. And to build on some of the examples that were given to you, let me tell you how it adds up. 1 fewer flush from every household saves 12 million liters of water each day. 1 fewer run of the dishwasher citywide can save up to 17 million liters of water. And if every household does 1 fewer load of laundry, that's 90 million liters of water that could go towards emergency firefighting or the water that hospitals need to save lives. As Calgarians, I know we are ready to rise to the occasion, and the time is now. Keep doing what you've been doing. You did such a great job yesterday in reducing your water usage to 438 million liters. That is fantastic. As a result, our supply remains in good condition. So let's keep doing what we're doing. Please keep talking to your friends and your family and encouraging everyone to do the same, and we can get through all of this together. We will see you tomorrow morning at 8:30, and we'll be back here at the Emergency Operations Center tomorrow afternoon at 2 with updates. Have a great day.
Ready for questions?
Yeah.
All right, we'll take your questions. Anyone? Carolyn? What are the plans out right now in terms of having those interim pipes that would be taking water from Bearspaw?
So the plan right now is to make sure that we fix the hotspots and get the tap going from the Bearspaw facility in a fulsome way so we can get water throughout the city. The contingency plans that we are looking at continue to be worked on to figure out which one is the best, whether it's an overland solution or some other networking of pipes to get that water flowing. We continue to work on those solutions, and if they're needed, if Glenmore is having a little bit of trouble, then we will put those into effect.
That's what we're waiting for, to see if there's going to be trouble, or is that a plan that will go?
There's contingencies in place if it's needed. Right now, it's not needed because we are able to keep up with the demand because people have cut down on their water usage. So the amount of water that's flowing from the Glenmore facility is enough to meet demand right now.
I want to ask you about the inspection plans being developed for the rest of infrastructure, given that this happened, and it probably shouldn't have done because the stuff wasn't resolved, it should have been before this happened. What are we seeing in terms of looking at other infrastructure, conducting those inspections, and doing that on a proactive basis?
So I can tell you that the type of monitoring and modeling that's done on infrastructure like this happens on a regular basis. The teams do this every year. The indications this year were that we had to do some maintenance work on this particular infrastructure piece. So this water feeder main had work done on it in April to add some valves and to add acoustic sensing technology. And there was work planned for winter. The kind of work that has to be done on this type of infrastructure needs to be when the flow is at its most minimum, and the winter months are the best time to do that. So between the maintenance that was done in April and the maintenance that would have been done in winter, we had this incident.
Sorry, just broadening it out though, I mean, in Calgary's general infrastructure, I mean, 30% of, I think, water infrastructure in Canada is beyond its lifespan. So what are we doing proactively, aside from just this break, to make sure, and this may be a question for you, to make sure that we're not going to face a situation like that, and to address things a bit quicker and a bit more?
Let me start with this. When we're putting in any new infrastructure, we are using different materials. So any of the feeder mains that are going in now as a result of newer communities are made of a different material. So we're not using something that could be compromised in this manner. And so we continue to also look at technologies that would help us understand the state or the condition. And I want to remind everyone that the life cycle of this particular piece of infrastructure was 100 years. So it wasn't at a failure point. And I'll let Mr. Bouchart weigh in.
Yes, and thank you for the question. And in terms of the investments that we make, we have an ongoing annual program that looks at both the smaller water pipes as well as these larger feeder mains. So every year we look at different sections of our system to determine what the condition is. And that is also supplemented by modeling of the behavior of the pipe over their age based on the materials that they're made of. So we do have an existing program. We are going to supplement the program based on what we've seen. Every time that we have a failure, and it's not just when we have a failure of this magnitude, every time that we have a pipe failure, we understand our system better.
Do you overhaul that program completely, or do you just kind of like put band-aids along it to be like, oh, well, bummer, there was that break. I guess we should look some more.
There's always an opportunity to overhaul the program if it's deemed necessary. But we are also going to recognize that what we've done in terms of inspection also has value. So we're not going to throw that away.
Okay, question from CBC, Terry.
Yeah, Mayor Gondek, you mentioned this morning that you need to better understand the timeline for restoring treated water to flow back into the system. Is this an additional weight on top of the 3 to 5 weeks for a pipe fix?
So there is no additional wait time built into making sure that the pressure is adequate and the quality of water is appropriate for Calgarians and surrounding areas to consume. The time estimates that we've given include the repairs. It includes making sure that the repairs have been done properly through an inspection, and it includes doing the flow of water to clean out any debris, and then after that, testing the pressure and testing the water quality. That's all inclusive.
Thanks. Jordan, CTV?
Yeah, Mayor, in your opening remarks there, you mentioned some discussions with private companies. Of course, there's a lot of engineering and oil and gas companies in Calgary. Can you elaborate on some of those discussions? And would there be a point where the city does approach some of those private companies to help out more if they can?
So the city has already been working with the private sector. There's many people that came forward and said, even if it's just a conversation, we would really like to be helpful at this point in time. So I can tell you that a lot of folks in oil and gas have been talking about their experiences with pipeline work. They've also done a lot of work with industrial water solutions. So in speaking with our engineering and expert teams, they've been able to exchange a lot of information. And they've talked about what a repair might look like. And so explaining to those folks the nature of this particular pipe, that it's concrete and metal in a combination, has been important. Explaining to them what kind of fixes we are proposing and what kind of crews they might have to help us, what kind of trades folks that they might have, has been important as well. So those conversations are well underway.
Okay, we've got time for one last question. We'll wrap for today. Anyone?
I have a comment question.
Emma,
I have more
blue nail.
questions. Yeah, just wondering actually whether or not you can provide, if there are any further updates to contingency plans for fire or hospitals at this point, or other health facilities.
So what I can tell you is that Alberta Health Services works closely with hospitals and urgent care facilities in our city. They work with the school boards as well to make sure that there are plans in place and contingencies if they are needed. And I can tell you that Chief Dongworth and his teams at Calgary Fire Department are continually assessing the situation, looking at the amount of supply we have on hand. And as he has mentioned many times, they're working closely with the provincial government to see what kind of fire suppression methods could be deployed on their behalf as well.
Any word on Stampede? Are we still going to have it?
We are just in the process of talking with Calgary Stampede. I believe they may be joining us tomorrow, and we can figure out the practices that they are going to undertake to make sure they're limiting their water use as well, just like the rest of us.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Mayor's update will be tomorrow morning at 8:30. You'll see us back here at 2. Thanks for joining us.